Hi everybody, it's Lori Bradley here in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and it is time for lunch with Lori. Excuse me, it's our usual Wednesday lunchtime get together. I have lots of exciting things today. And then later today at 5 o'clock Central Time, so change your time zone, whatever that might be. I'm doing my first of 31 projects in 31 days. I did that last year. I showed 31 different projects, and it was a lot of fun. It was a little bit of extra work, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to do that again, and hopefully you will enjoy those holiday products. Today we're going to start with Halloween because Halloween is the next holiday. But for this class, we're actually it's not a holiday. I'm using a holiday stamp set from the holiday mini catalog, but it's not a holiday class today. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you. I earned the 2026 Alaska incentive trip a few weeks ago. And I just want to thank you for all of your support, whether you have ordered from me, you are on my team, you comment on my lives, you participate in challenges, all of that helps. And I just wanted to say out loud that I greatly, greatly appreciate that. Second thing, Happy New Year. Today is the first day of the Stampin' Up! New Year, so I'm back to work today. Like, that next trip won't earn itself, so I will keep working on that, or begin working on that, I guess, since it's day one. So there's that today. Lots of exciting things today. The last chance products list was updated today, which means there are some great things on sale. There are a couple of bundles, and a friend pointed it out that if you buy the bundle, it's regular bundle price. But if you buy the two pieces separately, it's the More Than Autumn bundle with the cute little hot chocolate cups. If you buy the pieces separately, you pay less for them separately than you do as the bundle. So keep that in mind if you are shopping the last chance products list. And then the most exciting thing, and I'm not a pusher. I'm not usually the one that pushes joining my team or buy the starter kit, but I'm just going to tell you, today starts the new Join Special, and they have never had such a good deal. And you get two options to choose your starter kit. The first option is you pay $35 and you get $125 worth of stuff. That's kind of a no-brainer to me. And then the second option is that you pay the normal $99, which is what the starter kit normally is, and you get $125 worth of stuff, but right now you get $189. So $90 extra for both of those, and it's never been that way. So think wisely. If you have an order that's $50 that you want to place, you might want to think about, hey, I should buy that starter kit. There's no pressure to stick around forever. You don't have to host parties. You don't have to sell things unless you want to, and that's okay. And we can talk more about it later. But I just wanted you to know that there is a deal. It's a big deal. And of course, my team is awesome. My ladies are awesome. We have a lot of fun. We do a lot of things. And so you can choose what you want in your kit. You can do last chance products. You can order from the new November online exclusives that are not available to the general public yet. So great deal. Check it out. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to talk more about it, throughout the month. I'm not going to hound anyone. But just know that there's no obligation after you buy the kit. If you decide, nope, this is not for me, no big deal. At the end of the quarter, they will drop you. You go on your merry way, and you will not even be in trouble. So let's get going for today's projects. And then actually one more quick thing I want to show you, and I'm going to flip my camera around before we get going, is the new Advent calendar. No spoilers. There's no spoilers. I'm not going to open anything to show you, so you don't have to close your eyes or your ears or anything. I'm just going to show you the calendar and how cute it is, and then we'll make our projects today. So let's do it. All right, let me get my camera. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, let me show you the calendar. So there is the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar stamp set, and that comes with it And a lot of people were concerned that it was a holiday stamp set. It's not. There's birthday, thank you, love you, proud of you, thinking of you, healing hugs. So get well, all of the things. So it is multi-occasion, has flowers, cupcakes, butterflies. And so let me pull out the box. My computer is not loading today right now, and so I can't see if there's any comments. But look at this box. It's so cute. It's decorated for Christmas, but it is not actually. I'm gonna open this. I have not opened the pages yet, so don't be alarmed. But this is what it looks like, and it gives you the numbers on what day to open when. And there is designer series paper and stamps. Well, we've got the stamp set. There's embellishments, and it's all things that are not in any other thing. So it's the kit, or this kit, goodness, is $99. Includes the stamp set and all the things in front. And you might have seen a sneak peek on somebody else's page. I'm not going to do that because I don't want anybody mad at me. So I need to open it and check the things out. But my friend Sue and I, Sue's Paper Creations in Canada, we are going to do a class, a 12 Days of Christmas class with this. And all you have to do is purchase the calendar. And hint, you can put that in your starter kit, and it would be $35, just so you know. So anyway, it's a great way to get that, and we'll get started. All right, I'm gonna real quick fix my internet. Looks like it's not working. I'm not sure why. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm gonna show you the stamp set we're working with today. It is, goodness, my Wi-Fi is off. Okay, here we go. All right, the branching out bundle. That's what we're using today. And we are not gonna make Christmas cards, but this is in the holiday September to December mini catalog, and we are going to use it. Goodness, I'm not sure when your internet goes out, it's a little bit weird. So hopefully I've got that fixed. Okay, but this is also kind of multi-occasion. I showed this last night, and somebody's whole hair. Goodness. Okay. Hello, thinking of you brings joy to my heart. We've got thinking of you. Let's see. Thinking of you brings joy to my heart. From our family to yours. That'd be a great Christmas one. Happiest birthday wishes, sent with lots of love. And then the branches. But the branches are not even the coolest part of the whole bundle. The actual best part is the dies. And I would buy these dies even if I didn't buy the stamp set, because they're great. Like, they are like almost like a ticket, and they are dies that layer. So obviously we want the stitching. They've got stitched edges, and we want those stitching to show. But I'm going to open it up. So I would buy it even for just focal points of cards, and I'm going to show you that today. I'm not going to make a holiday card. I'm actually only going to make 2 cards today because I was afraid I would take too long because I was showing you other things. But there are branches. There's little berries, little berry twigs, pine cones. So it's a very wintry stamp set if you use those. And so I think that's why it's in September to December. You always think about the pine tree boughs when you think of Christmas, right? So anyway, I'm going to use these today. I'm going to show you things with not the Christmassy version, but guess what? We will see these again during the month of October on my 31 projects. So I'm going to set this aside. So in September, my card club used Autumn Toile, and we did a card that was very similar to this, and I actually don't have it handy. But I used the Autumn Toile paper. This one I switched it up, and I'm going to use just a floral paper from the Floral Charm designer series paper. I have my Blackberry Bliss card base. I'm going to fold that in half, and then I'm going to set that aside. We don't need that right now. All right, then I cut a 4 by 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4 piece of designer series paper. This can be any pattern that you want. It can be vertical, it can be horizontal, or it could be non-directional. This one happens to be, it kind of looks like it's a little bit vertical, so I'm gonna call it vertical, but I think we could get by with it if we did it sideways too, but I'm gonna call it vertical. And I used one of those branching out dies and I cut right out of the middle, okay? So I have my middle piece cut out. I'm gonna take that out. That was the magic of TV, I've got it done. And I'm going to glue the outline, kind of the frame, directly onto my card front. I'm gonna use liquid glue, so if I screw it up, then I can move it. When I was trying to decide what I was gonna do, I need to show the ways that these are not like the Christmas version, right? We need to switch it up and show the non-Christmas ways, so that way you know that you get your money's worth. All right, so we have the base. Now, I've also die cut another branching out die that is one step bigger than the floral one that I die cut. So there's that mat. You get that mat around the outside. Let's put that on. And then we'll put that directly onto here. Now when we die cut that, we had that hole in the middle. That's gonna be covered, so don't worry about that. I'm gonna pop this up on dimensionals, but I'm going to use the black dimensionals because the base is dark and this panel is dark, so I'm gonna use the black dimensionals so that they don't show a whole lot. Like I said, you can do this with any designer series paper. You can use, it could even be an embossed piece if you wanted it to. You could pop that up as well. That might be kind of fun to have a more solid background and then pop up a middle. So many options, so many options. So there you go. So there's that piece. Then I've cut a nested essentials, just the little stitched rectangle, and I'm going to use the happiest birthday wishes stamp. Great lady card. I have another sample of this one also sitting here on my desk, so I'll show you both papers. They both came out of the same package. Okay. There we go. Stamp that in Blackberry Bliss. And then I'm going to use linen thread. Some linen thread. There's no blue, that's navy. We don't have any navy ribbon or Blackberry Bliss ribbon, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use some linen thread just to give it a little zhuzh. Wrap that around my fingers. Cut it. I'm not gonna tie a bow. I'm actually just going to tape that onto the back. And I know it's gonna be surprising, but I don't have any Scotch tape here. 1 second. I better grab some. I had class last night and all my supplies are not on my desk right now. I thought I grabbed them all and I didn't. All right, so I just like to put that on the back like that, and then we'll dimensional that up too. Since this piece is white, I'm gonna use white ones, because the dark one would show on that. Put it there. There's not a small enough branching out die to do it that way. So that's why I didn't use one of those, but it's got the same matching little stitching that works perfectly. And then I just chose the antique pearls. Kind of pretty. This would be perfect card for your grandma, your Aunt Bessie, whoever. All right, let's put some pearls on here. And there you have that one. Now, one of the other papers in the package was this floral pattern, and so I used a basic beige piece instead of the white because the white was just too much of a contrast. So there you go. You can see this could be anything. Okay. So there's the first one. Now our second one. Oh, you know what? I didn't put my white panel on the inside. Let's go ahead and do that before I forget. With a dark card, I always like to put a white panel on the inside so that you can see when you're writing. You can see. There we go. All right, there's no designer series paper with that bundle, so unfortunately we don't have that. But I'm going to pair it with the autumn toile paper for this one. And the autumn toile paper, I've done that suite for you. That was my card club last month. We did not do this card. This is a different card from what we did for that. But I'm going to showcase that paper just a little bit more. And this is going to be more the neutral side of the paper. Okay. So we're going to use an early espresso card base. It's just a half sheet of cardstock. And then I have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of designer series paper, and it's the stripe. Okay, it's just the brown stripe. It's the back of the fox. Actually, I guess you could probably just use the fox too if you wanted to. Let's see. Take a gander at it real quick and see if that works. It may be too much. Too many different patterns. Let's go with my original. All right. So I'm going to glue this, the brown piece, onto the brown stripe, excuse me, the early espresso stripe onto the early espresso card base. And that's just going to be our card front. All right. So then I've also die cut one of the branching out dies in white. Actually, I cut 2 of those because, you know, safety first. So I have a white one, and then I also die cut from the autumn toile paper, the brown check. And that's gonna be our next piece. And then our white piece is gonna go on top of that. Now, I also cut 1 piece of the stripe that we're gonna line up, and it's gonna go right underneath the stitching on the top and the bottom, and we're going to line this up so that those pieces actually line up. Okay, I might have to cut that just a little bit, but let's go ahead, stamp our words. One of the words in the stamp set is hello, and it's pretty big. Everything's sticking to my paper for some reason. It's not scooting properly. Let me show you this. If you're watching, I could use an opinion or two. All right, so I've got my paper on there. I've got my hello. I did one of the small berries in gray granite because that's kind of the background color, and early espresso. Now, I did not want to use the gems that match this bundle are the streaked dots, and I have them here too. I have the streaked dots. They're too brown. This is too gray. I think they're too gray, so I don't think that the streaked dots look right with those gray. So I'm gonna try, I've got a die cut pine cone. I'm gonna try to stamp off a couple of pine cones and put those onto this. So if you're watching and you have an opinion, let me know what you think. I have 2 that I can use, so we'll try it. I'm gonna stamp the hello first. I'm gonna put it kind of on the right side of my die cut. Let's see. Right about there. I'll put that on the right. Okay. Now I'm gonna use the pine cones. I'm gonna stamp them. I'm gonna stamp off because they're too dark if I don't. And I'm just gonna stamp a couple of pine cones over here. I'll go off the edge. I don't need to do it on the left side because those will be hidden. All right, we'll see if we like this. I just wanted to fill that space a little better. And like I said, I didn't like how the gems looked. I guess I'm too matchy-matchy. Now, let's go ahead and we're gonna glue this onto our other die cut piece. Actually, yeah. I could have dimensionaled that too, but I'm gonna go ahead and just glue it. And then we'll pop up that next piece. I'm gonna do that with the dark because I don't want it to show. Although this one, I guess maybe the white would also work, but I just like to use these dark dimensionals. And we'll put that on our card front. And then we can build all of our pieces that have disappeared from my desk. Oh my goodness. Flying pine cones at the craft station today. Okay. I'm gonna put that right there. And the reason I'm putting this on first is that I want to be able to line up my stripes. Okay. So I still have this piece right here, and I want it to line up at the top and the bottom to make it look like that stripe just continues all the way. And it doesn't look like I need to trim it, so that's why I glued that on first before I put this striped piece on, so that I can make it line up. Just like that. So that lines up. Okay, now I'm gonna look on the floor for my pine cone really quick. Has anyone ever had that happen where you drop a tiny little pine cone? All right, we're gonna take one off of our other card. That's what we'll do. Like literally all my pieces were on my desk. Oh well, it is what it is. We're stealing pine cones. It's all good, right? Okay, now let's put our decoration on. I've got a gray granite weed with berries. That's what I always call these things, is weeds, and an early espresso one. I'm gonna overlap those just a little bit like that. The gray granite one, the piece of cardstock that I pulled out actually had adhesive sheet on the back, so that's actually gonna help us. Then I don't have to worry about the glue. These little dots are big enough that you can put glue. You might not want to glue your whole thing down. So, so you can just put drops of glue where you want it. You might want the ends to stick up, make it look a little more 3D. Do that. Now I'm gonna have to put some glue on my brown one. I'm gonna try not to be distraught that my pine cone is gone. Oh, so 31 projects in 31 days. If you have requests, if there's something you'd like to see me do, let me know. Every day I'm just gonna choose a different bundle, a different stamp set, a different designer series paper to focus on. So be sure to check those out. If you don't see them live, there'll be a replay. And it will also be posted over on YouTube, on my YouTube page. So those will last forever. The Facebook videos will go away after 30 days, but. All right, and then I'm just gonna tie a bow, the Lori bow away. Who knew that brown ribbon would be so exciting for me? I wish we had ribbon in every color. I think that would make my crafting life so much easier. That. There we go. I'm going to put that on top of, I'm going to have to cut off the little webby tails, but I'm going to put that right there. Actually, I might not even need the pine cone since I stamped those on there. Normally when I have glue dots, I just lay my ribbon on there so that it's on the back of the knot. But with the linen thread, it's too skinny. So you need to take it off with your fingers and roll it just a little bit so that it's behind the knot of the linen thread. And then we're just gonna put that right at the top. We'll trim that just a little bit. All right, this one's just not gonna have a pine cone unless I add it later. Because apparently stamping things, okay, so there's our front. And then I almost wonder, do I need another pine cone right here? Maybe not, but I'm gonna put a pine cone on the inside panel, and I'm gonna do that in the espresso as well. I'm gonna do a couple of full strength, and then I'm gonna stamp off, and then maybe maybe another, let's try that one. Maybe in both corners. Let's do that. There we go. Nice fall hello card. This particular style could easily be changed to happy birthday, and it could be a male, masculine birthday card. But those dies are amazing. Oh, I want that to be on the bottom. Just like that. So there's the one with the 2 pine cones, and then there's the one with the die cut pine cone. I feel like I've got a mess here. So very similar. I can always add that pine cone on there. I think I probably will. And then the other one is the die cut designer series paper to make the focal point. And so I promise that on one day, probably next week, I will show you the stamp set, the dies, and the other things that go with the branching out bundle. All right, thanks for joining Lunch with Lori. Don't forget, there's a starter kit special. There's last chance list, the advent calendar. Purchase the advent calendar for a fun class with me and my friend Sue of Sue's Paper Creations. And I will look forward to seeing you at 5 o'clock today if you can join me. If not, I will see you for Lunch with Lori next Wednesday. Have a great rest of your week.